Eclipses are some of the most fascinating events in the sky, and this demonstrator model helps us clearly understand how they happen. Using the Sun, the Earth, and the Moon, we can see how shadows create two types of eclipses, solar and lunar. Let's start with the solar eclipse. A solar eclipse happens when the Moon comes between the Sun and the Earth. The Moon blocks the sunlight and casts a shadow on a small part of Earth's surface. In our model, when we align the Moon directly in front of the Sun, the shadow that falls on the Earth represents a solar eclipse. There are three kinds of solar eclipse. Total solar eclipse. It is when the Moon completely blocks the Sun. Partial solar eclipse. It is when the Moon covers only a part of the Sun. And annular eclipse, where the Moon is slightly farther away and appears smaller, creating a ring of fire. Solar eclipses can only happen during a new moon, when the Moon is in between the Earth and the Sun. And they are rare for any one place on Earth, because the Moon's shadow is very small. Now, let's look at lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth comes between the Sun and the Moon. The Earth blocks the sunlight and casts a shadow on the Moon. In our model, when we move the Earth between the Sun and the Moon enters Earth's shadow. This is lunar eclipse. There are two main types of lunar eclipses. Total lunar eclipse. It is when the entire Moon moves into Earth's shadow and turns a reddish color. Partial lunar eclipse. It is when only part of the Moon enters the shadow. Lunar eclipses can only happen during a full moon, and unlike solar eclipses, they are visible from many places on Earth because Earth's shadow is much larger. Now, an important question. If the Sun, Earth and Moon line up every month during new moon and full moon, why don't we have eclipses every month? That's because the Moon's orbit is tilted by about 5 degrees compared to Earth's orbit. Most of the time, the Moon passes slightly above or below the shadow line. Eclipses happen only when all three bodies line up perfectly. This demonstrator model makes it easier to see these alignments, the shadows they create, and why eclipses are rare and special. By observing this model, we understand that eclipses are simply shadows, beautiful cosmic shadows, created by three objects moving in space. And with this simple setup, we can watch in seconds what happens in the sky only a few times a year.